The little birds. The little birds.
For one, Javon, I appreciate you.
Thank you, Matt.
You know, super last minute, but that when you were a guy I have been meaning to get on for a while, so I'm kind of going through the list.
Okay.
And so tell me a little bit about it, so because they don't know this is actually my first time meeting.
Yeah, absolutely. So we connected through Instagram.
Hey.
My name, of course, Javon. Been in Phoenix now for a number of years, so this is definitely home for me at this point. As far as what I do, I work a regular 9 to 5. I work in finance.
Oh,
So yeah. So as far as like that plan A route, I'll get into what plan B is in a second. But yeah, so I've always just had my career entailed into finance. I started in, let me think, the first job I had as a bank teller. This is back like 2012, 2013. So like when I came back out to AZ from New York originally, but much of my adult years here in Arizona. But yeah, started in, banking, worked my way up that way while I was in school at the time. I went to ASU from the start of when I moved here up until 2016 when I finished up. Then after undergrad, went out to California, the Bay Area. I love it out there. But I was there for about a year before moving back to Arizona. It just had that home feel, and I was ready to come back at the time. So been here since. But yeah, so I worked different jobs. It's like in banking, then I went into financial advisor. Then I went back for my master's recently in 2017, and now I work in, I'm a data analyst now for an investment firm. So that's what I do in terms of just my 9 to 5, very much regular in that sense.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely. That's a little bit about myself.
Okay, nice. Yeah, it's like, I love how you insinuate, I do have a 9 to 5. That's plan A.
Oh, no doubt.
Because, we are in that time period now where almost having a 9 to 5 is looked down upon.
With so much avenues and careers people created here.
Exactly. But it's just so crazy to me that it's like that now. Because, I tell people like, okay, like y'all talking about this whole boss up, be your own boss.
Okay. I'm with it.
A lot of y'all can't do it. I'm just going to say that right now. A lot of y'all can't do it. And it's no knock to you. It's a knock to your work ethic.
No doubt.
Because it's like,
that's it.
I tell people all the time, are you prepared to only average 5 hours of sleep?
Sometimes.
Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes even less.
No doubt.
So it's like, excuse me. If you aren't prepared for that, I can't really expect to take you serious that you're trying to start your own business.
Okay.
It's like, you have to be the hardest worker in the room.
Of course.
Yeah, and I mean, you know that, with your app.
Of course.
Yeah, you want to tell us more about that?
Yeah, of course. I recently came out with an app actually towards the end of last year, like September of 2023, we officially came on app stores, iOS and Android, but it's called KickSnap. And what the app does is just a new and fun way to shop for sneakers. The reason being is because the primary way that you can search for sneakers is by image. So what it does is either upload or snap a picture of a sneaker that you see, whether it's in real life. Maybe it's, a lot of us being on social media, coming across a pair of sneakers you may like, don't know what the model is, and maybe you do. You just want to take an image search and see what type of a result you can get back. But it'll match the kicks there for you and tell you where you can buy it online, how much it's going to cost. And then you can save all these sneakers from all these different websites, Nike, Adidas, Goat, StockX, Amazon, kind of from everywhere, all within one app. So it's a cool little sneaker assistant alongside traditional tech searching. You can share sneakers outside of the app. So it's just a cool little one in all type of app that I came out with.
So let me ask, so what made you start it?
Me having the idea for myself, just saying, hey, I wish there was something out there that, hey, if I saw a pair of sneakers I liked, and how can I find a way to get that exact ones I like? So I would just kind of remember certain things about it. Like, oh, it's a Nike shoe, or it was black and white. That was the colorway to it. Maybe it was like a vintage type of Nike. So I knew it was at least an Air Max or something like that. So I didn't find anything like that. So I pursued the idea myself at one point, more on the conceptual side for a number of years, but just recently finally got it to launch, got some funding behind it and put it out. So we got a good reception on the MVP. And then we tackled version 2. So we stepped it up on the image recognition. We added some customization to it as far as different colors. So we've gotten a little bit more accurate, and we're still just kind of pushing, trying to get the word out there for you.
Okay, nice. So overall, would you say it has been beneficial, or are you still working towards that? You would say.
When you say beneficial, you mean in a fight, like is it adding to income at this point?
Well, I guess you could add that too, but how has it been received by people?
It's climbing. So we recently, I like to look at the marks. Like I look at a lot of stats that will say what's the market success, or why do apps fail, probably more importantly. And I wanted to get over the 1,000 download mark. A ton of apps that do fail, I think in the 90%, don't get 1,000. So once we got that 1,000, we did a lot of work on the networking of it, the promo of it. So we really got the word out there, got a marketing team behind it. So once we began pushing it and we started seeing numbers and it started to convert into actual like active users, still pretty early on, but still pushing. We got a good enough reception for it to where we still wanted to see where this could pan out to. So
nice. Yeah, because like I had told you, I did try to use it. I think it was in like the beginning stages that I tried it.
Okay.
No, I definitely liked what I saw, and that was what really made me, say like, yeah, I gotta get this guy on. We gotta talk about this. Because you have a lot of different sneaker apps. You got Trade Block, which I've talked with those gentlemen too. Great guys.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. If there was one thing that you could do differently with the app, what is it?
As far as like what it does.
How do you think you can improve it?
At least right now, I'm always taking recommendations. I work with a team of developers, so they always feed me ideas, but stuff I didn't get in the second version that I really wanted was like an in-app browser. Because right now it redirects users. And the reason it does that is because we came up with the concept for is every time we develop, there's like a set time frame that you're doing the development. So as you start to get through certain features that they're building into it, you start to run into the end of that schedule, the end of that contract. So towards the end, I always wanted in-app purchasing in some capacity.
Okay.
But I wasn't exactly sure how to tackle that without being e-commerce and different things. And maybe somebody, like a easy scenario is say if somebody gets the wrong sneaker size.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, Javon, I got the wrong sneaker size. We returned it. I didn't sell these. So we don't sell sneakers from the app.
Yeah.
So how to accomplish that? We wanted it in that browser, but we still have to find ways where it can be safe to redirect users without exposing to data leaks.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the sites we redirect to, like Nike, Go, Adidas, you create accounts. So we want to make sure in redirecting from the app to those third party, the websites, we're doing so in the safest way. So that won't be until like the next version or something like that. So redirecting right now is the best way.
Okay. Nice.
To keep users safe.
Okay. You mind passing me another one?
I got you.
Appreciate that. It's actually cooling me off.
Yeah, gotta stay hydrated.
Yeah, pass me water too.
Me and the water, I got you.
I appreciate that.
No doubt. Hydration huge out here.
Yeah. But I definitely like that though, bro. Because it's definitely a great idea. I will tell you that right now.
Thank you.
I really liked the idea when I first heard about it. Because there are times where it's like I'll see a sneaker out in the world and it's like I don't even know what that sneaker is, and it's like I wish I had something that I could snap a picture of it and not necessarily keep it for later, but like they can just tell me the colorway.
I get it.
Yeah, so I like it because of that.
So when you said you tried it, if you don't mind me asking, what was it where it wasn't working for you in the beginning? What feature was it?
I think it was having a hard time like with the picture. Actually, it was having a hard time like figuring out what
the sneaker was.
Yeah,
I'll tell you the key difference from the MVP to the second version we put out, V2. So with the MVP, the image providing we were utilizing, I had a provider at the time who would take the image and try to pick pieces out of the image to say, okay, I see the Jordan logo. Okay, I see the color red. Or, hey, I may see that it's a high top sneaker. And then from there, it was trying to pair where we could find it online from a list of websites that we do scrub. And we were scrubbing a number, like I think about 10 that at the time that we provided access to say, hey, these are the valid sites that we give results for. Now, the image recognition, the reason it's a lot more robust is it'll take your image and then just simply try to match that thumbnail to where it's sold online. So that's why it's a lot more successful, is just the technology behind it. At the time, the same company that gave me the image recognition, this was like 2017, 18, where it was still a concept, and I was shopping, I was trying to just build a team. So I was looking for an image recognition provider first. So they liked the idea, they got some equity into it, but it was still conceptual. I still had to get that developer. So once that developer, I found the developer. Mind you, you can go with any development team, but I always wanted somebody that had some skin in the game, not just building my app and somebody, but somebody that was going to build it, give me some strategic advisor behind it. So I wasn't seeing a lot of that. I think it was recommended that I offshore at the time the development. There's a lot of talent overseas and drastically cheaper over there as well. So it can be accomplished a lot faster. And but by the way, my developer's in India. I did offshore it. As far as the development cost, it's like a fraction of what you would pay in the US.
So just a rough estimate and not trying to intrude too much.
Yeah.
How much?
$30K. So that's what the contract was.
I expected way more. I'm not gonna lie.
US, you're starting at 100,000.
Oh, okay. See,
so
that makes a lot more sense.
So yeah, so it made a lot more sense. It was easier to when you got the funding, actually go with that. Especially because it's a concept we're trying to see if it works out. So you have to have at least enough of a hunch that, hey, this is why we should move forward on it, but it's a lot easier when you're starting a lot lesser. So yeah, at the time that's what it was. But the company I worked with, a lot of the companies in their portfolio was more like for vision impaired people. So it would do the image recognition, but it wasn't strong enough to do for like a sneaker, is what it was. So once I put the product out, it got good reception, but a lot of the controversy was the accuracy to the image, of course. So it's like, okay, so did our homework on that. We were able to find a more robust company that was able to do so.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we went with that. So that was a change for version 2 that we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I like it. Trying to think, do I have any other questions for you?
Hey, like I said, we recently upgraded it, so give version 2 a try. Please definitely do.
And keep in mind, links will be posted down below.
Appreciate that, definitely.
Of course, man. Overall though, I like the idea, man. I definitely wish you nothing but the best.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And definitely, I think over time, it's going to be an app that's going to be very crucial.
I appreciate it.
Excuse me. But, speaking of sneakers, we were kind of having a good conversation earlier. And a point that you brought up was one that, I fully related to. You said you feel you're not a traditional sneakerhead.
True confession.
Now, let me ask you this. Your age?
I'm 30.
Oh, okay. So you only got like 3 years on me. Okay. Because I've had this question for a minute.
Yeah.
It's typically guys older than us.
Okay.
They do not like to be referred to as sneakerheads.
Okay.
So I started kind of asking the question, well, why?
Right.
And it's like, for some, it's trauma, people thinking it's weird, like that they collect shoes. Oh, okay. But it's like, is it really bad to be labeled as a sneakerhead.
Okay, I can feel that. When I think sneakerhead, I'm thinking of like your traditional, like your Nike heads, your Jordan heads. You're watching for the drops. I definitely have my ear to what's hot at the moment. Like I definitely keep in touch, but I don't feel the urge to grab the latest Travis Scott that dropped or
I feel that.
have that sit on the shelf. I'm also not someone that flips the sneakers like that. So I literally go for what's intriguing to me. Sometimes I literally go off deals that I see. And if it's like, for instance, like one website that we do scrape the sacks off it, I like to go to sites like that and see like where I could, find what's on sale from that. And, I build a collection through that. So that's what I mean by not traditional. I don't chase the traditional, what I would consider what the traditional sneakerhead tries to collect up and go that
I feel that.
But yeah, I own a hell of a lot of shoes and kind of just grab as I see.
How many in your collection so far?
Damn. Just overall, probably at least like 30, 40 pairs.
Oh, okay. I'm at like 50. So
okay, you're higher than me.
I did always tell myself though, as soon as I got to 100, done.
You're done with it.
Done.
Okay.
Yeah, don't go past that because that starts to become a problem after a while.
I get it.
But no, the reason why I did really feel your point on that was, I've always told people, I feel I'm not really a traditional sneakerhead, but I think it's just the way I really got into sneakers was a little different than most people do because, I don't have the typical story, I grew up watching Michael Jordan and that's what made me start loving Jordans and then it just spanned everywhere. I don't have that typical story,
I feel that.
Mine came from cars and skateboarding. And, the cars one is the very weird one because, like, how? Like, yeah, but it's like, I tell people, like, well, think about it like this, you get into this, essentially cool car. You're not going to get out of it looking all bummy. Like, you're going to look fly.
Right.
Like, so, with that, I say some get it, some don't. It just depends who you ask. And,
I dig it.
I think realistically, I think there's enough space in this game for everybody.
I agree with that.
Yeah. And, even take resellers, for example. We talked a little bit before we started recording.
Right.
We kind of have the similar ideology on how we feel about resellers.
Right.
And, although I don't fully like it, I think there is a place for it.
I agree with that.
It's just some of these guys need to do better at business. I'm just gonna say that.
I'd say to keep it running and to keep it healthy, just be mindful of the markup. At some point, it's like it is refreshing to see that you can go into your Foot Lockers, your Finish Lines. Like if you wanted those certain shoes that are sitting that never used to sit like that, so that's cool to see that come back around. But I think when it's just completely obsolete is when it's like, okay, now it's completely just driven by the reseller. Is where I feel like it's out of balance.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, at the end of the day, though, even with, take Phoenix, for example, we have so many resale stores out here. It is crazy.
Right.
And keep in mind, I don't knock any of them because I'm cool with a lot of them.
Okay.
But there's times I see one sprouting up like almost every week, and I'm like, how long you gonna be here, bro? Like, I'm genuinely asking, like, how long you gonna be here?
Right.
Because I've been told by numerous ones, it's not easy. It's not.
It's hard. I've heard it's hard too. I've heard that echoed, especially if that's what you're trying to trying to be like, okay, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur and go straight into just reselling like that. It definitely can take, I'd say, a little bit before you're really getting that type of revenue to where it's supporting you like that.
Oh, yeah.
So I can see that.
100%. Yeah, so, with that, I say, for some of these guys, it's like, I commend the effort, but it's like I'm starting to question how some of these stores are staying open. I'm not gonna lie.
It's like that with restaurants too. For a while, I lived downtown Phoenix, and it's cool to see that part of town have built up so much since I've been around. I've been around since 2012, 2013. So it's come a long way. But you would see the infancy stage of a lot of different restaurants that would come and just kind of give up because they just weren't putting it all into where I feel like they should have, like getting their word out to like they would say if it was like a late night restaurant, you should definitely be at those late night bars, like the ones that are around saying, hey, like we got specials, especially for the late night folks and things like that. But yeah. Just, you need that ethic, like you had mentioned.
No, I feel that, bro. I feel that.
Anytime you're trying to step into your own, like you need that self drive is important.
Oh yeah, 100%,
definitely.
Yeah, so with that, I just say, kudos to all these stores opening, but man, like
it's a lot of y'all.
Yeah, it's a lot. it is, and it's crazy to me.
So you said you know a lot of resellers. So what differentiates like your favorite from like the ones that you've been seeing that you're like, I don't have a lot of faith in you?
So dang, you put me on the spot.
Just curious. Like what? Like,
I feel you. So a lot of them, we've actually built a great friendship.
Okay.
You've heard of Archive, right?
No, put me on.
Okay, so Wilson, who owns Archive,
okay,
he originally started at Wayne's.
Okay.
Branched off, helped start that one in Mesa. I don't know why I'm blanking out.
Okay.
But now he owns Archive. Okay. Me and him had actually been friends for a minute. We actually met through cars, ironically.
Okay, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, so me and him have been boys for a minute.
Nice.
He pisses me off every once in a while because he's a Lakers fan, but that's still my guy.
We gotta talk about the Lakers next.
Oh God. Yeah.
Looking a mess.
Another store I do like is definitely Pick and Roll. There we go.
Pick and Roll.
Okay. Yeah. Owned by my guy Ivan and his wife Leslie, who's actually a MMA fighter.
Really?
Yeah. Loved them to death. Super cool.
Okay.
Very genuine. Arguably, I would say some of the best customer service I've ever dealt with.
Okay.
Yeah. So 100% them.
Nice.
Also cool with the owner of Soul Play.
Soul Play?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Yeah. So, sorry, I'm blanking out on names. I'm sorry.
It's just a lot of you.
Exactly. It's like,
it's
man.
Just so many that are
Sneaker Culture AZ. Cool with them guys,
One I live by, because I live in like North Central Phoenix that I've seen is like Legends.
He's actually not there anymore.
He's not there no more.
He's
really?
not.
Okay. So that solves that.
He's doing well though. He's doing well. Yeah.
So he got out the business more to pursue something different, or it just wasn't working out?
I couldn't really say, to be honest. All I know is I still talk with Charles, who owned it. Okay. I still talk with him pretty frequently. He's doing well.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it wasn't really much he was sweating, to be honest.
I get it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Definitely. Pursue your interests.
All in One is one too that I actually like. I do like them guys. Yeah.
Are these all nearby you, or are they all over the valley?
Majority are in like Central Phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Soul Play is the one has multiple locations. Like they actually have one now. Okay. They just opened one up at Tanger over here.
Okay.
And Glendale. So.
Okay, nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it seems like they're doing good. If they got multiple locations, they're good. Good for them.
Yeah, but so I will say I definitely think we have some good ones out here. And another thing that I've always brought up too, when we get these bigger conventions that come out here, whether it's Got Soul or
they just came out.
Yeah, or SneakerCon. I think they need to start getting involved more with these shops.
That would be smart.
Yes.
I speak to the guy I got so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because his name is Jonathan Devere, but I had attended SneakerCon in Seattle earlier this year.
Mm.
I'm back and trying to drop V2. It didn't work out how I wanted it to. But, it was cool to get that exposure in terms of just like working an actual live event. But I met John Devere at that event for God's Soul. So like we've been talking and trying to see if we can collab on something. But yeah, shout out God's Soul, shout out Jonathan Devere.
I want to actually talk with you about this. Did you go to Got Soul out here?
I didn't go out here. They just had their event out here. I think they just announced Chicago. Yeah. So
but you haven't been to a Got Soul?
I haven't been to I've been to a SneakerCon.
Okay.
I met the Got Soul John. He runs Got Soul. Him and his brother came up with it.
Yeah.
So he's just ran into me at the event. Was intrigued by what KickSnap was. It was still pretty early. Like I said, we didn't even come out with V2 yet. But yeah, we've been talking about collabing, so we've been in touch definitely since the event. So yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this. What is one thing that you think either convention could do better? Because I'll tell you one. I think it's just getting involved more with the community in the state that they're in, or even country. Because I think some of them do go out of the country.
Right. I've definitely seen SneakerCon outside the country.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I think that's a big one for me.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I can tell you what I think one does better than the other. I think Got Soul does a better job of getting in touch with big names.
I agree.
Got Soul has a better online presence.
I agree.
I think they do more for the merchants. I will say that I do think they do more for the merchants in those businesses that attend the event.
I agree.
As far as giving them that exposure, working with them, really showcasing them. So I find Got Soul to be a little stronger in that sense, but I think SneakerCon has just been going on for so long. It has the name, and so it kind of just sticks to what it does. Just, hey, you guys want to set up here? Here's the price for you vendors to set up and come through, and people just come and do it. But it's kind of
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Because a big thing for me is I want to do a live panel at one of them.
Okay.
I don't care which one it is. Okay. So if either of y'all happens to see this, I know y'all probably won't, but I'm just saying, I just want to do a live panel of people locally in the sneaker community.
Okay.
Out here. One that definitely has to be on there.
Okay.
Sneak This Sneaker Podcast. They have to be on there.
Okay. Nice.
Yes.
For sure.
And then the rest, it's kind of just following suit.
Okay.
Who wants to do it? Who can do it?
That would be really hot fire.
Because
definitely true.
Are you familiar with Sneak This at all?
Not too much.
Man, you gotta check them out.
It's a podcast.
Best sneaker podcast in the world.
Okay.
I 100% stand on that.
I'll tune into
it. Yeah, because funny enough, I had a homie. He told me, I think you could get to their level.
Okay.
And then he tells me, I think you might actually be able to surpass them.
Amazing.
I told him, I definitely appreciate hearing that, man. That's not my purpose. I don't feel that's my purpose.
Okay.
And, part of me, I'm very competitive to a degree.
But you're not trying to compete with them?
I don't necessarily want to. I'll put it like that.
It's not the goal.
Don't get it twisted. Do I think they do better than me? Me personally, no. But numbers-wise, of course they do. Okay. I'm man enough to admit it. But of course, mindset-wise, I have to think I'm better.
Right.
Because that's how I'm going to continuously improve.
100%.
In my opinion.
100%.
But with them, I'm on record saying I think they're the best sneaker podcast in the world. So for one, you can't say I've ever hated on them. I've said this numerous times. Right. I've said it again. But I don't feel it's my purpose because, for one, I love Greg and George to death. You know, I love what they do for the community. I listen to their podcasts all the time.
Okay.
You know, and you know, kudos to them for getting the deal that they just got. But for me, I just feel my lane is so different that I don't see a point to try to compete. Because, you know, like I told you, I don't feel I'm a traditional sneakerhead, so I'm not going to relate to everybody in this community.
I get it.
So it would be kind of a foolish move for me to try to compete in a sense.
Okay.
Yeah, but, you know, that's just me, though. I can only speak for myself. I think overall, though, if I ever get the opportunity to do a live panel at one of these shows, for one, I do think it's a disjustice if I am not included on there.
Okay.
And same thing with Sneak Diss. They have to be on there.
Okay.
And the rest would follow suit.
I think it's at least awesome you're being compared to somebody of that stature.
Oh, yeah. I was very honored, honestly.
You're definitely doing your thing.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying, man. I appreciate that.
No doubt. And I feel like just as much as like there's a sneakerhead community or they may have a grab or a hold on that, I feel like there's your casual people that can tune in and figure it out and become more sneaker fans. That. So
indeed.
I think you're going on the right direction.
I appreciate that, man. I mean, this whole thing was started just, you know, I wanted people to be able to come on, not really have like guidelines they had to follow in terms of, you know, like, oh, Nike says you can't say this, you can't say that. Like, no, bro, like, say what you feel you need to say.
Right.
And then if people don't like it, that's just reality. Not everybody's going to like what we talk about.
True.
So with that, you know.
Perfect outlet.
Hey, definitely. It's been a pleasure, my guy. We're going to do this again. You know, I appreciate you. This was super last minute. And, you know, I'm definitely, hey, look, I'm just grateful, man. And, you know, to y'all, you know, definitely follow him. Check out.
Please do.
Yeah, check out the app.
Definitely do. At JVX Pizarro, so JVXPZRO on Instagram. I have a link to kicksnap.app. That's our website. Like we said, version 2 just came out. Download on iOS, Android. Give us a shot. New fun way to shop for sneakers.
Awesome. Till then, I appreciate y'all for tuning into this episode, Drinks and Kicks. Y'all take it easy.
All right, y'all.